Haven't unmuted my mic. Good evening. Welcome to WooTube. How's everyone doing? I'm all right. Now I've worked out, all the usual technical issues and that kind of thing. Maybe my face needs to be here for a second. Cool. So last week looked at some startup corps. This week I've got a startup Arrisanna list, which I definitely want to play a tiny little bit of. But then we might move into some standard after that. I've got a fun list, which actually is kind of a list which I wanted to do. I even said I was going to do it on stream before the new set came out. I essentially promised a certain list that I was going to do. I never played it. And Rehearsal Without Rebellion has given that possible deck some new tools, so hopefully we'll get to maybe play a little bit of that to start with. But quick look at the news, if you like, or some deck lists which particularly stand out to me. Firstly, you've probably already seen this. This is deck list of the week at the moment. This is Wentagon's list. And this is doing the real crazy thing of using the Wizard's Chest, which obviously says you can install a hardware program or resource from your stack, ignoring all costs, and it's using it to install a bug out bag with unlimited counters, basically as many counters as your deck has cards. So that you can then draw your whole deck. Pretty nuts. You can then place a Vernier Cinnamon Plant, see like 20 cards off R&D, and then play Ashen Epilogue and kind of do it all again. Very fun. I mainly like this just because I'm a big fan of Bug Out Bag. I've been this is one of the cards which kind of hooked me into Netrunner. I was already learning how to play it, and I saw a stream where Andre played like a Bug Out Bag list with the connection, which gives you like a hand size relative to your credits. And it just blew my mind because I'd gone from like learning, so you've got a hand size of 5 and I've got these cards and they're the ones which you can play with and maybe you can draw for more. And watching Andre just like draw 20 cards and going, right, I can play any of these cards now. That seems nuts. Very fun. Other things to note, Bridgman did a stream the other day playing this Bankar Steve list, which looks like an absolute blast. I really like Bankar Steve. Hey, Cold Lava, did they actually land on that actually working? I saw it being discussed. Yeah. So I should probably mention that whether this is a legal interaction or not is unsure. And I think I've heard that the rules team are going to put a sort of official judgment out on this or make some comment about this exact interaction and how it should or shouldn't work. But I really like Wentagon's write up, like they've gone into the comprehensive rules list and everything. So like super cool if it does work, whether that then needs to be adjusted so that it doesn't. I'm not totally sure that it's even with being able to do it, like not 100% sure that it's even the like greatest thing. Like you can fire off a Spurnius Tim implant, yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess you can potentially do that sort of turn two. That might be an issue. But yeah, pretty awesome. So Bankcast Steve, if you haven't seen or you're not subscribed to Bridgman's stream, it is Kitchen Table Netrunner on YouTube. No, Kitchen Table, maybe just Kitchen Table. Definitely should know that. Definitely don't. I mean, I'm subscribed. Like that's like good enough, isn't it? It's like Kitchen Table. Oh, TCG. What happens if I just put in this? That didn't help. Okay. I will put in the show notes afterwards what it actually is. But yeah, it's definitely something along those lines. And Bridgman played this on stream. It's always great, like watching Bridgman streams. This is just super fun. Like you get steel skin and strike fun value. Obviously, you don't care too much about losing cards, whereas you normally would in Criminal because you're Steve, so you can just get everything back. Kitchen meta. That's it. Thank you, Thanos. Kitchen meta. That's close. Most things you have at least two of, so I like the fact that Bridgman here he's just gone for two of each of the breakers because you can always just get back one, like if you lose both of them. The hardware package is the only weird thing about this list. I don't quite understand it. It's like all one-offs, like it's a single boomerang. I guess maybe that's fine because you're Bankar, but that's the only bit of the list that I don't quite understand. I'm not a big fan of Panweave myself. I guess you are looking to run HQ a lot, and this is a credit like plus denial card, I guess. Window of Opportunity plus Saucy, sick, absolutely sick, and we're going to be playing some Source today, that's for sure. So I can very, very much get behind that. And then there was also this, which kind of snuck under the radar. Kikai published this Freedom list, and it's really nice to like. I'm a big fan of Freedom, so just seeing sort of Freedom out there doing its thing. Obviously, this one is massively abusing Leech and Sauc3 crew. And then if you're playing free Leech, then you've got excellent value from Freedom anyway. So that's pretty cool. It's got a copy of Sec Testing, which is pretty wild, but like a really good way of making a run on archives. If the corp has a virus in there. Like this allows you to get your Knobkery trigger without triggering the virus in archives, which is pretty sweet. I like that. And a telework contract. Fine. It's like you just needed a little bit more money, and this was to influence, I guess. Like it probably could be a few things, but I like it. It's nice. It's like a fun looking list, and it's probably the kind of list which I wouldn't have been able to cut down to 45 cards, and I'd have ended up playing at 49 cards and it wouldn't work because I'd have wanted Moshings, although I'd probably play Boshing over Zero. I'm a big fan of Moshing. So that's all cool. If you haven't seen the Fight Club videos from the weekend, there's some amazing games, like really, really fun games. I had it on for the entire morning. I was kind of listening to the whole thing, watching most of it. There's some really good commentary. Bridgman's on there commentating actually, which is like great to hear. Aksu and Jai are fantastic, and Jonald was there too. Shout out Jonald. He's actually does some excellent commentary in the first couple of rounds and has a brilliant introduction for himself, or I thought so. I enjoyed it. So yeah, go and watch that. I will warn you, if you don't already know and you haven't seen it, the final is long. It is tense. It's probably like in real life, although it was incredibly long, the tension like made it work. Like I don't think I've ever watched a game of Netrunner for that long and been invested as much as I was, because it was a real interesting game which really swung back and forwards but never quite felt like it was totally one person's game. But it's maybe one that if you rewatch it on YouTube, you could probably go 1.25 times, possibly even 1.5. But it is like it's an epic. But even some of the early games, the first games, Giat versus Cable Carnage was fantastic, and Giat pulled out a 2-0 win in a matchup which he was very unfavored, and so like that was pretty hyped to see. Great player from all teams, and like came right down to the very very last game, which made for a really fantastic final. And that's probably it, like news wise, right? We should probably play some games. So sorry, I'm like a bit tired. So I've been playing lots of Arrisanna, and I think in Startup, I think if I was going to play just in a tournament next week and I just wanted to play a really strong runner, I'd probably be looking at taking something like this Tau list. Like Hermes Tau is really strong. It's even more strong when you can play burners and cataloger. Although actually I think I kind of chucked the cataloger in here as a test. Like I'm unsure whether cataloger is correct. But burner's excellent, obviously. Especially in Tau, where it kind of forces the corp to think about icing everything up, which is what you want. Hermes plus Tau is like a great combo. You've got plenty of draw in Shaper. I think I'd probably put this cataloger in. I think I was on like 2 Vyarcations, which is probably the better option. I just kind of have been getting on with cataloger quite well. And I'm playing free Trick Shot because I've heard it's a good card. Still unsure about that, but in Startup, it's great, especially in this exact list. We can deal with pretty much all the ice of the format very well with these programs. The leech really helps, and it's quite hard for the corp to purge at the moment in Startup. And you can just put on like a ton of pressure. You burn through your deck, pun very much intended, and then you play an Ashen and you go again. And that's why I think actually probably play the second Vyarcation. That's what I'd probably play if I was going to play tomorrow. However, there are other cards which came out in Rebellion Without Rehearsal, and the other Shaper cards fit much better into a list like this. So this is like the exact opposite of Hermes Tau. This is what I would call small rig shaper, and Arrisanna is very much big rig shaper. We are going to be installing a lot of stuff. Now, the good thing about this, compared to sort of old metas of install shaper nonsense, is that we're kind of doing a lot of it on tempo because we're doing it whilst running, because we are Arrisanna, which is cool. There is a chance that we could adjust this into being a World Tree deck, which would be really cool, which would probably have to extend in cards up to something. We probably only want like 55 at a maximum. We can't go kind of full big deck, I don't think, because we can much less consistently find the World Tree. But this has actually proven to be really, really fun. I was like, right, let's build an Arrisanna Aesops list, because we've got Muse and Coalescence, which are both great targets for Aesops because we can utilize them themselves, and then they just kind of sit around ready for us to sell them and make money. But then when I was looking through the list of like, okay, well, you know, if this was standard with like play Kaibans and things like that, there's not actually that many Trojans which you can use. So I was like, well, what Trojans can I use? And I ended up on free Sauc3s, which is actually like a pretty good option here. Like, we can always move these around with an urban art vernissage to get more money off them, more triggers. But we can just sell them as well. Like, we install it probably for free, probably gaining a credit, a card, probably during a run, so it doesn't even cost us tempo. They res an ice, we gain free credits, and then we sell it for free credits, and that's like a 6 credit play. That's fine. That's like good enough. So even if we don't end up sort of moving these around, just selling them with the Aesops is absolutely fine. We can play Entanglers, which deal with most of the like bigger, nastier ice. And we can play Slap Vandals, which deal with most of the barriers. We do have an issue with Logjam, but we'll get to that. And then, yeah, like big barriers can be a problem, but I've actually found that Pressure Spike is quite good at dealing with them. So often we just have to go and find this thing and install it. Cupulation, I've been really enjoying in Shaper. I think it's a good card. It gives us some HQ pressure as well and allows us to mess with the corp a little bit. Imp feels like a great card when we're playing Aesops, and so it's in there. But there is also like a little part of me that wants to play like 2 or maybe 3 copies of Window of Opportunity in here to really kind of lean on those Sauc3s and make like a ton of money off them. But I think that's probably a little bit too cute, but we shall see, because sometimes we do get a bit, the whole MU situation becomes a bit tricky. That's why we're playing 3 copies of DZMZ. This also helps because none of our programs are free to install. We haven't got Kaibans. We can't play Flux. So everything, even our like cheap Trojans, cost at least 1. So we kind of want them to come in for free. DZMZ helps there. And 2 lily pads, which gets our kind of draw engine going. Minimal events because most of the stuff we want to just install. So just the very like the best, the 9 best events, 3 of each. We're at 46 cards because I should be on 2 DZMZ and I'm on 3 because I'm greedy. And that's it. If we don't find an Aesops, this deck has still worked. It does get a little clunky if we don't find an Aesops, because we're essentially like really hoping to get money from Teleworks, Coalescence, and the creatives, and like the Sauc3s and things like that, and just putting pressure on and trying to slow the corp down enough that they can't like get enough of a move on. Can you explain the Simmel missing? I can. This is a startup deck, and Simulchip is not in startup. So our only option for recursion in this deck is Muse, which works as not only our SMC, but also our Simulchip. So it's like, it's been fine. It's actually, I've found the stuff which I've needed to find. Hey, Wentgon, how you doing? We're just talking about your your bug out bag list, because I'm absolutely fascinated by it. I'm a big bug out bag fan, so I popped quite hard when I saw that come up. Um, I'm waiting to see if I should legally be able to play it. Hey, lazy. Okay, so we're gonna play a game with this. Maybe two. It's been doing well for me so far in initial testing, and then we might move on to this Shiko list up here afterwards. But I'll make sure that we've got time for that to start with. Oh, look who's around. Right, what are we? We're runner, we're startup. We're streaming. Bam. And this is called Sauc3 Shop because obviously it's Aesop's pawn shop plus Saucies. And I had to put a free in just because that's just how I naturally write source nowadays, due to the Netrunner player source. Wentagon, I put that together in about 3 minutes after deleting the original when Bost realised that it was probably illegal, so I'd recommend refining it a bit. Fair. I love how like you threw something together just to show off something that you could break, and it's become deck list of a week. Lazy, how has brewing startup been since rotation? Interesting. You go to build decks and you go to put in the cards which you assume you can play and you can't play them. So like here you're like, okay, so I've got my like pretty standard corp rig, like runner rig, breaker rig, whatever you want to call it, and I'll just put in a turbine to help that. And then you're like, oh, I can't play turbine. It doesn't exist anymore. Or you're building Anarch and you like go, right, well, we'll start with like 3 Steelskin Scarring. Oh, I can't play Steelskin Scarring. So it's kind of interesting, because you suddenly go like very quickly you go, oh, I need to look for a different way to do stuff. And most times you end up importing 3 diesels into almost every deck. Or that seems to be like pretty safe bet. And yeah, I haven't tried building much criminal apart from a teaching deck, which is quite hard to build a like good training startup deck. I basically just built a gateway deck because it made more sense in terms of a teaching aid. There's not much. There's like, I mean, I guess there never has been, but it's quite hard to get like multi-access for criminals in terms of R&D. You basically have Conduit or Maker's Eye, or you be Mercury and you play Pretty Mary. And I don't. Yeah, I probably should try some some criminal startup, but I just want to play Justinio if I do that, and I don't know about that. Evening, Syndrin. How you doing? Wentagon, Liberation is definitely a less beginner-friendly cycle than Borealis was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, probably. I think Borealis, the cards like they kind of just fit together a bit. You know, like you were like, I want to build an Esser deck, and you're like, well, I'll put the Esser cards in, and then you're like, right, I've got like 10 slots, and I can just put other stuff in. Hey Robin, how you doing? So I can definitely see that, and you could like be like, okay, I'm going to play Padma, and so I'm just going to look for stuff to charge. I'm just going to play boat, but you know, or what was, or you're playing like I actually think Sable was like a really good sort of training ID because it's just saying like, right, you should probably make a run on centrals once a turn. And any time where you're going like you should probably make a run on centrals once a turn, but actually try and get some value from it, tends to make like you a better player. It's kind of like when I started playing Hashiko after playing like almost nothing but Shaper for a long time, or like at a level, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, hey, no, please jump in. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh right, well, turn one I'll dirty laundry HQ or R&D because like that's a good thing to do. And then I'm like, I'm stealing agendas because of that. Insane that Tributary just throws that all out the window. Yeah, maybe. There we go. This is not a bad start. I like having a diesel. I'd love to have an Aesops though. We're against PE, which is gonna be an issue because a lot of our money is tied up in installing stuff. This feels worse, quite significantly worse. Okay, well we might just slam into this. Oh, ooh, maybe not anymore. I mean, we could do because we can always muse an entangler down. I feel like I'm gonna lose my pressure spike very quickly this game, and then I'm not gonna be able to get through a Boto, and that is not a good draw. Okay, this is not looking great. This is looking very much not great. Do we run HQ here? Sure. Like, I'm quite tempted to put the copulation down. I'm quite tempted to put the copulation down. They can't regenesis, right? No. I'm going to put this down. I need to get, like, some econ going, and this is going to be it for the moment. That is a potential problem, but I can't afford to trash it. Okay, that's good as long as we don't lose it. They just score a House of Knives here. Oh, they don't just score a House of Knives here. So what is this? Charlotte. It's a Charlotte. It's a Charlotte. It's probably a Charlotte, right? I'm gonna guess it's Charlotte. Okay, right. Let's get some money here. We can draw once. Oh, that's really good actually. We probably just play that, install this, it draws a card. It doesn't draw a card because we already installed the coalescence. Okay, well it was a Charlotte, so at least we call that right. What's P doing out of startup right now? Just playing Charlotte and grinding out? Like you can play Ashen, but this feels like the cohort that we saw, but I couldn't guarantee that. Right, we're gonna put down the copulation, and we're gonna check HQ. That's like fine. We will install the Pichon on the way in. Using this credit, we'll breach. We see a Ronin. Oh, that's terrifying. That's a really good thing for them to... Is that the best thing for us to copulation? I don't think so. I'm just going to draw. We've drawn all our actual breakers. That's a real big problem. I think I have a Parisia, and I think I'm going to need to muse the Parisia next turn. Okay, we've lost that echelon. We are now in a ton of trouble. Like, so much trouble. Because that is our only... so maybe we have to muse... We might have to muse for the echelon. I can't really do that at this point. I don't have the money to do it. So do we muse for Aparicio is the question. Just so that we can start clearing out the hand a little bit. I think we might need the muses to get our entanglers. Okay, right. That's just put instant snap installing. So that we don't lose that. We will... Okay, so our muses are a little better now, which is nice. I think we'll just draw one more. Okay, having an entangler in hand is nice. That is what we want. We'll host this here. Oh, have I not drawn with... I did not realise I haven't drawn with Lilypad. I don't want to overdraw, so we'll just stay there. That's my bad. Okay, at least we've got an engine going. Fuji Neurospike. Yeah, that could be it. Can't you muse to get it back? I can. Program flood sucks. I mean, you say that. This deck is just programs. So I will program flood myself here. Look, this is 22 programs and like almost nothing else. So I'm going to get program flood. It's just going to happen. I can't do anything about it. Right, but now at least we can like get some value going here. So we'll bring that back to hand. Now, we probably have to run server 2 here. The question is, do we like muse for anything first? I don't think so. I think I just need to hold on to these, pad the hand a little bit. I think we can run here first click. There's a chance that we should put down a pressure spike. There is a chance we should put down a pressure spike. Because we can't deal with barriers if we lose this. We like just no way apart from a slap vandal, which is not a good way of getting through a tattoo bowler. So I think I'm going to put this down as a safety thing. We don't need that. We can check server 2 now, I think. Boto is expensive and annoying. We could slap vandal it. Let's just check server 2. Like, we might end up losing our unity here, which would be like less than ideal. Ooh. Okay. What are you letting us see? We'll steal that. We lost a muse. It's not good. In fact, I'd say it's really rather bad. Possibly should have stuck a Pikachu somewhere. I think we'll go... We're going to check server 4, installing the Pikachu on the way in. I want to try and find this cohort. Do you want to host that? I think we might do. And then withdraw. Maybe we should just... I forgot that cost of credit. Should have just trashed it. Which runners had a sprint equivalent? Yeah, that would be cool. Would it be... they kind of do, right? The class act? And all the bad versions of the class act from before? Okay, we could go and try and deal with this Charlotte. I think we're going to just sell this copulation, which means that I definitely shouldn't have hosted. I should have just trashed. But I kind of need the money right now. So we'll... Aesops copulation, probably a bit risky to try and do that. Try and get that off as well. We could install the Unity to try and make sure that we don't lose the Unity as well. I think it's probably the sensible thing to do. We only have a couple of muses left. Yeah, Blockade Runner was like the bad one. They've iced archives, which is fascinating. Is that just so that we can't dirty laundry archives? We do want a dirty laundry here. I think I'm going to dirty laundry HQ, hit a snare, almost inevitably. We'll put the peak shell here. If they ping us for a damage, then we know that we're going to hit a snare. We see the Ronin. That's fine. We'll draw. We're gonna just install that because that's actually a really important source of money right now. Blueberry diesel sounds so much tastier than regular diesel. It does. Blueberry diesel is almost exact. No, it's not as good as It's not as good as sprint, is it? Because sprint's what, draw 3, shuffle 2, and blueberry diesel is like draw 2, potentially bottom 1. Hmm. Okay, we've probably got to be careful of like cohorts doing nonsense stuff. They're sticking a load of cards into archives. Okay, this is just probably to recur some. So that looks like they were a little bit flooded. They're popping the Spin Doctor now, suggests that this is another Spin Doctor. I think I run it next turn to check. Or that's a Spin Doctor. But more likely this one right here, right? We'll urban art this. We're not going to sell anything, unfortunately, this turn. Right, I'm going to click the telework once. And then we'll make a run on server 2, I think. We can entangle her from hand if we need to. Cold Lava. Blueberry actually nets a card versus Spring being card neutral. Okay, that's a pretty big difference. No action here. That was the Spin Doctor. So is this a... No, so what's this? No idea. I should have Arrisanna there. Didn't. I should go and get rid of this Charlotte. It's doing a ton of work for them. Like we can do. I'm going to run it and see what happens. It's the bad one. Luckily... Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to break the first, I think. Because we're quite poor. Oh, wait, I will stick a Pika Shell on it. Then it can fire. And I think we probably do play this creative commission. As much as... Yeah, I think we have to. So, now we are technically rich enough to install the echelon. Are we using the muse to do that next turn? Because we have no other way of getting it back. And we have used one muse already. I'd love to use the muse to just get back a coalescence so that I've got Aesop's food, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. Let's urban art this. We're not going to sell anything this turn. Or yet. Muse for echelon. I think so. Before we... Yes. Oh gosh, there's our other muse. Okay. Heap. Echelon. This one. Hit. do we need to? We can possibly just entangle through this. As long as they don't hit us for damage before we hit it. I think I run next clip. Like they could, and if they're gonna res here, they should House of Knives first. Interesting. They are not keen on resing this ice. And I can't work out why. Do we trash that? No, they are unique. Now we can hit this, and I think we just take a credit. I forgot to install the Pikachu. Do we just do that? It's 2 credits next turn. And it technically keeps it safe. It's 1 credit. It's net 1 credit. So is it? It's as good as clicking for a credit. So I'll do it. Should have done it on the run. Obviously, I should have done it on the run. Like they're really insistent on not resing this, and I wonder if it's because they assume we've got an entangler in hand. So maybe they're waiting. Maybe we should put the Pikachu on it first, then run it. Okay, Archives is kind of looking scary. Fine. So now we do have an Aesops target, which is nice. We will pull this back to hand. I think we are going to put the Pikachu on this ice. We'll draw a card. We don't want a Dirty Laundry. Right, we'll run now because we can entangle through this if they don't res. Or if they do res, sorry. And it's something nasty. If it's a Boto, then we'll just pay. Still no action. Is this just a snare? It was a snare. We kept the Entangler! Oh, we're very good. We'll trash that. We'll remove a tag and we'll draw 2. Conduit seems like a bad choice. We do have 1 Cataloger, which is a good choice. Interesting. We'll Urban Art this. We won't Aesops anything. I think we put the Pikachu on here, drawing a card. DZMZ would be important. I think we run now. We might draw once, then run. I think we draw once. Saucy's cute. But we can't install it on the way in because Entangler. Yeah, we'll gain a click. No action. Is this going to be a... Oh. Oh, dear. What did we... Oh, well, this is going to be painful. It's a Fuji. This is going to do all our damage. Are they then going to hit us? Oh, we just die. Okay, GG. Fine. I didn't quite do my maths there, did I? Was about to say it's probably an enemy, but that's rotated. Yeah. I keep wanting to put an enemy in my decks. Axew's coming in. I wonder if he's realised that we're playing startup. I bet you he hasn't. Is the ice a snake? Yeah. Just for now. Is the ice a snake and they're hoping to score a Sisyphean first? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Dave, you would think that. That's very much a you style play. I get the impression. They got score out of Sisyphean though. Axu, that is well, we're going to find out. We're just got to test out some stuff. Plus, I played some Startup Corp last week, so it feels only right to play some Startup Runner. We're playing against R plus, which I actually think is all right as a matchup. This is okay. It's actually quite good. It doesn't have an Aesops, and it doesn't have draw. Not that our deck has much draw outside of the lily pads. But we can technically challenge any early ice to a point. And Pikachu's really good if we end up having to go through like VSAs or something. I'm tempted to keep this. I'm going to keep it. I almost got to net deck something and come snipe. Yeah, you probably should have. Mindscaping, that's probably fine. We're not going to take a load of tags. For some reason, it did not allow me to select my snare PD list. Well, unlucky me, hey? It's like a Bristol classic, that one. Okay, that's not exactly the start which I expected, but here, that's fine. We can go slow. We're happy to go slow. I think just we will go very slow. We'll run archives. We'll... no, wait, why on earth am I... I don't want Arrisanna down because I've got no... whatchamacallit. Second Mindscaping. Yeah, I've got no Urban Art Vernissage out yet. I probably should have challenged a remote an ice there, but I'd have liked to draw a Sauc3 first. So here we could go Muse, get a Sauc3 here, and then run it. I quite like that. It's pretty bad for us unless we draw into an Aesops very quickly, though. So let's draw. Now it's better for us because we can pull the Sauc3 back. But if we do that, we run, we're probably going to have a tag. We might just have to run it now. Sure. Show me. It is a Starlit Night. So we can muse through this. So we're going to get, or we can break one tag. No, I think this is probably the best thing to do. So we're going to go from the stack. We're going to get an Entangler on here. We're going to encounter, pay 2. Steal tomorrow's headline. Slightly unfortunate. Remove tag, take some money. Source. Yeah, I did mention that it was kind of because of you, right? Essentially, I can't write the word source without putting a 3 on the end anymore. But it just made sense. So this is my homage to you. You can see it that way. Okay, Spin Doctor, Oppo. Fine. They haven't like sorted their boards, so we're okay here. We'll remove 2 tags. Then we could get the urban going. They might overwrite their ice though. I think I might run the Spin Doctor. Let's do it this way, and we'll put the Pikachu here. And then we'll put the urban down. Oh, is the prediction... Where are the results of the prediction thing? Apparently Source won it. Excellent work. Who was running that? Was that I can't remember who was running it, but yeah, Axu, stick a link or send me a link, and I'll link it for wherever. Is there like a sheet with all the results? Can only share on Discord. Share it with me. Okay, right. Let's try and find ourselves at Aesops because it would be really helpful right now. We'll draw. None of those are Aesops, but this is good anyway. We'll take some money off this. We're not going to challenge an ice last click, so we'll just install. It's like not great, but it's technically as good as clicking for a credit. Thanks for Oh, you have a PA player. Hey, Cody. Yeah, I didn't get a great start against you. Do we want to play this diesel? If we play the diesel, we're going to go up to 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. We've only to install 2 of them, which we can probably do. But it's a little tight. Let's find an Aesops. We did not find an Aesops. So we'll put this here. And we'll put this here. We might run that HQ on next turn. Really need to find an Aesops now. So here's the problem with Aesops decks. So sad that Flux Cap is rotated as startup. I know, right? There's loads of really good, like Coalescence is like a 2 credit a turn type thing, which is not the worst. But right, what's more important here, the credits or the clicks? I think just the credits. So we're going to get back for Saucy. Yeah, there's loads of cool stuff that Flux Capacitor could do, and right now it's actually potentially one of the best like Trojans, and it would have been really interesting, and it would have really had its own little thing going for it. And it doesn't. Right, we're going to put this here. We're going to take 2 credits. What's the chances that we take a lot of tags? Unless this is an Oracle think tank. I might run it just to force the res and then probably jack out. Okay, it's a ping. We're going to just jack out. Clear the tag. We got our saucy value. We'll remove the tag. We'll take these 3 credits. Yeah, you can do some like pretty nutty things, I think, with Flux Cap, especially if there's a way of moving around ice. Maybe I need to look at that for Eternal. Right, I think we can probably stick the Saucy on HQ and go HQ now. There's a chance that we should install the Echelon first. Just so that we can break a Starlit Knight. Is that like the nastiest thing out there? We'll put this here. We don't have any more MU. That's a massive issue. No, it's not, because this Coalescence we don't actually need. We'll run HQ. It's another ping. We will let that fire. I think. Yeah, we will just let that fire. Because this is kind of fine. We can just force them to res all their pings. We'll hope and assume they're not on Brasilia grid because we've seen like a lot of influence on Mindscaping. We'll remove a tag and take a credit. Okay. Fine. We're not really advancing our board state here, which is a problem. I'm going to put this here, run it. See what they've got. They've got another Starlit Night. So we could break one of these subs. They still get a credit from it. Or we could go through and then probably clear 2 tags. If this ends up not being an agenda, then this will suck. They also have the money. So if we go through, it's going to cost us 1 credit to break the ping and 2 credits to break the Starlit Night. That takes us down to 9. We then clear 2 tags and we go down to not much. Clear 2 tags. What's the worst thing that this could be, though? Not actually sure. We'll continue, we'll jack out, we'll draw, and we'll remove a tag. Well, I'm glad we removed the tag. Okay. We might just Dirty Laundry HQ this turn, I think. We'll pull this back. Let's Dirty Laundry HQ. Installing a Slab Vandal here. I guess maybe in like Dirty Laundrying R&D was better. They've got a predictive. That's fine, I guess. We can remove a tag, play this. We can actually challenge this remote, and it doesn't look like we can, which is quite cool. I guess they could put another piece of ice there. But we actually break this Starlit Night for 2. Break the ping for 1. We can install both the things for free. We could really do with some MU, preferably a lily pad. Okay. So here we probably want to go HQ. I think I want to bring the Pika Shell back to hand. So let's draw once for a Dirty Laundry. No, there's literally 1 Dirty Laundry. We'll draw once for a lily pad. Didn't find one. We'll run HQ installing the Pika Shell. Because it looks like they're about to push next turn. We'll see a predictive. We'll run HQ again clicklessly. Seems okay. Yeah, Charlotte is 2 inf. Archive memories. Blech. Hey, Cactus Lab, we are playing Startup. Here, I think we install the telework, click the telework. Then what do we do with our last click? Do we go HQ one more time? Cactus Lab, I wanted to say, because after last week, when we were playing Startup Corp, and you were somewhat fairly saying that we were playing a very dirtily corp and we should be making more of a move. Which I'm not going to disagree with. This is terrifying because this could be a sender message and then we just lose. So we'll install the echelon. We actually then had two pretty quick games. I was playing a straight boring corp, so yes. Well, maybe the games are immediately after you left. The games really picked up. This is a problem. That is a big problem. We can't break both of these. We need to jack out. I possibly should have. Well, okay. So there's no way of me doing this apart from I could install the pressure spike thinking I could install the pressure spike, go through, lose the pressure spike at the end of the run. Do we think this is definitely a 5-3 here? I have Muse, yeah. I have Muse. I have 2 Muses left. I can always slap handle both of these. Yeah, I think it's correct because this feels like a big agenda push. Now the other thing is we're going to get hit with a ton of tags after this run because they've got archive memories. So whatever happens, we're going to lose. I guess we should possibly Pikachu somewhere. Oh, this is an extra credit as well. That's going to be an extra credit. Gross. Maybe I don't Pikachu because it costs me money to install it. I don't have to keep below the money, which is good. Oh, I only have to pay 2. What does this say? Oh, because it's on encounter. Yeah, so I just bypass it. It's an off-world. That's fun. So we can take this and remove a tag. We don't have enough clicks to remove all the tags next turn. But they would have to, if they do tag us, there's no shipment anymore. Game 1 hit us with loads of tags. Seems sensible. So we could try and win. How do we win? What tag punishment? There's actually everyone says, oh, there's hardly any tag punishment. I went through the list. There's actually quite a lot. The really good stuff though is tricky. The and particularly the good stuff in NBN is tricky. I think one of the best cards right now for tag punishment wise is Greasing the Palm. Yeah, B1001 is good. Retribution is classic. Orbital, obviously. You can still play. Thinking. You can still play Psychographics in faction. So Psychographics, Orbital, End of the Line is. Oh no, you can't play End of the Line. Sorry. We possibly just try and go for R&D here. We can run clicklessly using the Pikachu. But if it's is it gonna stop us? If it's a Starlit Night, it stops us. But it also costs them some credits to do that. But it will give us 2 more tags, which is quite bad. No, it won't, because we can break the tags. I think we go R&D. We hope that this isn't an Enigma. That would be annoying. It's a fun house. Okay, are we just going tag me now? If we don't, we can clear 3. And they could maybe greasing the palm. They could retribution. I don't care if they retribution any of our stuff. So the other option. Oh, I wish I put the saucy on it now. Is to like bounce, clear 3. It's most of my turn. Leaves them with 1 tag. Which they might clear for us with greasing the palm. Do they still have a predict? They could archive memories for a predictive. That's annoying. Oh, they were on mindscaping. Yeah, no, we die if we go. I forgot about that. They are on mindscaping, so we just die if we float all the tags. I wish I could slam a conduit. I do not have a conduit slam. That is a unity. We'll end the run, and then we'll remove 3. Feels bad. If I had a conduit, that's when we'd slam the conduit and go. Okay, we lost our urban art. It's a shame. We retribute the Echelon. That's a shame, but that's kind of fine. We don't care too much. I still have this money here, which is nice. Like, let's draw. There's our conduit. Okay, so next turn, we just install that and go. Let's do this. I think we draw once more. Imp. But we can't afford to install the imp. So let's just gain a credit. And we'll throw out a slap vandal. Probably a saucy. There's like no res. There's no face down items res. We're gonna lose the conduit if we're gonna lose the conduit. So the other option is to go like imp, run HQ with the slap vandal, try and trash their archive memories. Yeah, that's it. You're like, oh, you don't have Bologna money. We don't need it. No Bologna. Okay, something's on the top of R&D. So we could slam conduit and go, but then we lose conduit next turn. So I'm a bit more tempted to go looking in HQ, particularly for the archive memories. Let's draw for exactly a dirty laundry. No, we can't actually afford a dirty laundry and imp and everything. The only real... we can do this, make a run. We maybe see if we're going to find a creative commission. Yeah, we're good. We'll run HQ. We'll install the slap vandal on here. Do we die? Psychographics? I mean, I'll imp it because I think we're going to lose this imp next turn anyway. But if they archive memories... Oh, they just purge. Yeah, also makes sense. Right, it could be slam conduit go time. They've drawn a lot now. Maybe we should have run R&D because they didn't want to draw it. Just hit there, send a message. Yeah, it's probably in there somewhere, right? We're going to gain a ton of clicks going through here as well. Yeah, this is definitely right play. Let's go. Let's go. Take a tag. If we don't win here, we will lose here. That can fire. We'll take a tag. We killed the archive memories, but they no, we killed the psychographics. We see a hedge fund. Let's set that to always. Yes, we can go again. We have 1 credit to run HQ right at the end if we want to. Just access 17 cards. Yeah, maybe. We do only need and they probably do have 3 pointers. Yeah, it is unfortunately. Oh, but we can reinstall it with Arrisanna. Probably worth it, right? Daily business show. Fine. It's better for us to just keep digging, I think. So we can do this. Install Pikachu. Take 1 tag. Take another tag. Yes. C3. Hedge. Daily business show. Magnet. Not good. Let's go again. Maybe it was to send a message on top. I'll tell you what, I think we should have gone R&D. Because they were probably thinking, right, they don't want to draw it, but if we run R&D, then they can draw. Hedge, DBS, Magnet, Spin Doctor. Can't trash it. I mean, this is enough tags, right? They can definitely psychographics for the win next turn. Hedge, DBS, Magnet, Spin Doctor, Beal. 1 more run. We just have to see 1 more. We're going to see 2 fresh cards. Okay. Hedge, DBS, Magnet, Spin Doctor, Oracle Think Tank. Smashed it. I do enjoy a last minute let's go mentally full on tagged because we're gonna lose next turn type game. Should we do 1 more and then play some silly Hashiko? Because I've got a very silly deck. Yeah, the only time you want to see a think tank. I was like, get in. I will take that think tank. Startup. Source coming in. Okay, we've got Source on the Source cast. The Source tube. Playing Newtham. Are we going to die to Punitive? Probably. We're pretty poor early on. Pikachu is nutty good, and I keep cutting it from my Arrisanna decks. And then when I'm doing the deck building stage, because I'm trying to slim down because I'm maybe I'm not getting enough value from it. And then every single time I go to SMC or Muse or whatever, depending on the format, for a Pikachu, I'm like, right, I just need a Pikachu here. And I haven't got it because I'm an idiot. And I needed to listen to Jeff and always play Pikachu. Oh, I have realised that this is probably in the wrong place. Should be there, right? Sorry, guys and girls and other people. Hedge, ton of money. They're on 11 credits after click 1. Seems good. Haley Till. Fun. See someone else working on Aesops Arrisanna. I'll pull up the list in a second so that you can see it. But yeah, it's I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna draw in case I get a. No, I don't know what I'm drawing for because I want to go this, click this. I guess I can draw 1. Oh, that's really good. But do I want to? Okay, that's actually tricky now. So maybe I go Dirty Laundry, the bin, just before the bin gets a bit silly. Install code. No, I'm actually going to go install I'm going to get my discount, and then I'm going to install the Aesops. Okay. Guys, girls, and MB pals. Damn right. Lol, I definitely feel that just listen to Jeff having come into standard right after Borealis, where Rush Orb was in its infancy, and he was pushing it. Cold Lover, I didn't realize that you only started stand up at that sort of time. That's kind of nuts to me. Okay. Are we going to check this? It's probably a barrier. Nuvum is almost exclusively playing barriers at the moment. So maybe we draw once. I think our only way through barriers is pressure spike, which is painful. Well, that's a really good last click. So let's see a logjam. If it's a hammer, then we can get through it. We're not going to saucy this. He's going to wait for us to saucy. Oh, we just get through. Regolith. We'll trash that. And then I think here, I think we're just going to draw and creative. Ooh, Imp is potentially really good. Imp is potentially really good. So we might, next turn, install the Imp, run HQ, run R&D in some order. They Nuvum and... Oh, they've got Subliminal now. Okay, so now we have to run every turn, but that's fine. We're Arrisanna. We kind of want to. So they're looking and they're thinking. First Imp, other than the fact I undervalue... Oh, hold up. I'm behind here. Yeah, I played Ash's Startup and switched to Standard with the Midnight Sun release and rotation. Ah, fascinating. Lucille, Barriers, and Hammer. No other ice exists. Pretty much. That's what I've found, especially for Nuvum. Listen to Jeff, but also cut Ashen. I don't think it's needed. Okay, so do we go here? What's this? This is a what's her face, right? So I think we don't sell anything. We'll install the Imp. We'll run HQ. Unfortunately, we've not found a saucer yet. No Ari. It is a descent, which we can get through. I don't think I want to spend a Fasalem on a descent. I do want to get Arrisanna. I do want to get Imp value, which means that now we're going to have to run R&D, possibly face tank into a sniper. That we will for Salem. Pay 2. Okay, card and deck. Punitive will imp it. Isaac, I think we trash it. And then we'll draw. Okay, we found a punitive with the imp. That's exactly what we were looking for. Lucille, I've cut Ashen from my Ari list because every single game I've played with it, I've drawn it in the first 10 cards. Yeah, maybe they repeat same old thing. So this is the kind of issue. So you're either sort of playing Ashen only feels good if you're either playing Anarch, so you have this way of getting it back. By recurring labor rights and then getting it with that, for example. Okay, Hammer's a bit scarier now, so we can't just challenge that willy-nilly. We're not gonna sell anything yet. We'll draw once. That's fine for later. I think we run R&D and see if we can imp something else. First punitive down, 7 more. 3 real, 3 spin, 2 spire. Don't forget you can play Archive Memories as well. They could have loads. Do we want to imp an Ice Wall? Maybe. Probably not. That feels like a very bad imp plan. So we could check the bin at this point. If they've got basalt, then I think we die. So maybe we just set up the telework. Seems okay. Recursion of strong effects is still a problem in Netrunner. Oh, sorry, there was a thing before that. I hope they do not reprint the same old thing. That never did. Yeah, I was a glutton for playing way too many same old things in my decks. Mainly because I was really scared of losing cards, and I really liked playing Levy, and you kind of really wanted a same old thing if you were a Levy deck. But I don't think it's good. Like it's kind of, it was always seen as a bit of a bad card, but it's a good card when you're playing something that's really ridiculously busted. That's the Ice Wall, right? Ooh, is it? Okay, now I'm scared of hammers, which is a problem. So we're going to draw a couple. We'll just... I don't think we pawn here. No. As much as I really want to. We can draw. We can draw. We could run HQ now. If it's a hammer, we can break... Hammer's pretty bad for us, but we do have another Aesops in hand. I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna go HQ. Maybe we should have gone server, actually. What is this nonsense? Actually, this is bad, because we don't want to put a slap vandal here. It was indeed a hammer. Right, so we can break one thing. Slap vandal. I think we want them to trash our Aesops, because we have another Aesops in hand. And I think if we choose this, we take a tag, and then we clear the tag, and they trash our Aesops. And that's fine. Continue to movement, then we'll jack out. They do indeed trash our Aesops. We'll jack out and we'll remove tag. Okay. So next turn we can go like Diesel, Aesops, click telework, and we're kind of just back in it, and we force them to spend a lot of money. Turn to same old thing in AR Harmony Therapy. Never happening. How could NSG print hammer without also printing sickle? Good question. Speaking of sicko cards, what's your number one card for the EMEA team event? Oh my gosh. Wild Turtok, if you could have seen the tiebreakers chat today. I was not concentrating at work, and they are scoring out in Oaktown. I like it. Ooh. And using an armed, as I guess they get their Nuvum trigger. Nice. Yeah, I want to be careful that I don't spoil anything that's like potentially too good. What's better? Well, we definitely want to put down the Aesops, and then I think we put down a... There's actually a chance that we don't put down the Coalescence, so that next turn we can go like Lilypad, DZMZ Coalescence. So I'm just gonna draw. Yeah, I need to kind of not leak anything, because some of them are very, very... Oh, I forgot about Subliminal. We were meant to make a run. There's some pretty wild things you can do. Are they going to greed this? Oh, I thought he was going to greed it. Right, they got a lot of money now. We've got to be a bit scared. We can sell this one here, so that's pretty good. We'll go bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, draw a card, take 2 off here, and then we could run. Don't think we want to. I think we're going to let them get a Subliminal back for another turn, which is not good. That's fine. Last click draw. I think Andre's fine with last click draw as runner. It's last click draw as corp, which is the much worse thing. I think he'd agree with that. Hey, has anyone noticed an increase in matches ending in concession since the release of a new set? So if you have, what it is most likely to be is just that people are trying out lots of like incredibly new wild decks. Like I certainly am. Like lots of the time I'm like, right, let's see if this works. Sometimes it becomes very apparent very quickly that it doesn't work, right? And so at that point you can just be like, this is probably like I should probably just concede this one. It's not really going anywhere. I think we can go R&D here. This feels okay. Let's install a Sauc3 on this. We'll draw a card. We'll run R&D. I guess we're potentially putting two. We're going to end up like Slap Vandal and a Sauc3 on an Ice Wall, which is going to feel awful. But yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised by that fact. Do we want to go through here? I think we actually don't. I don't want to give them like that good a target in terms of trashing ability. Yeah, you can't play Clan Vengeance Essa because Clan Vengeance is currently banned. It's not rotated. It was banned. Do I want a diesel here? I don't think I do. I will get money. Or get ready to. Saucy Axe in Los is clearly the busted combo to beat right now. Saucy Axe. What's Axe? What's Axe? Do you mean knife? You don't mean knife. Or do you just mean like window of oh right. Yeah, okay. I mean, I was like, surely you mean window of opportunity, and then I remembered that there is indeed an axe on window of opportunity. Yeah, okay, right. Let me think of. I will tell you some of the things which I would want to play, but I probably won't end up playing for the tournament, for the team tournament. Which, if people don't know, so it's throwback tournament, which means that you can play. They've purged our Vasalem and our imp, but that's fine. We can sell the imp now. We'll pull the Saucy back to hand. Actually, did we want to pull this back to hand so that we could get through here? Don't think we did. Maybe we did. So, yeah, Whoppo. Yeah, okay, I do like that a lot. Let's run archives. Is that risky? Definitely risky. I've got a copulation in here somewhere. I've got a copulation in here somewhere. I have found the copulation. Okay, so we want to be able to get through this descent, and then we can go and start copulating their stuff. Or maybe we just install the copulation, go here, snatch this punitive. I think that's probably fine. We can take stuff out of the bin, right? Oh, and we get to go in like this and everything. We will install a Saucy on the way in. Doesn't cost a real credit. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Feroz, predictive, punitive. Well, we're putting the punitive on. No agendas. It's punitive counter-attack, but it's also just a good card. I think myself. And then we'll draw. because we're really going to need to find our pressure spike soon. Yes, we could muse for it, but that's like a little risky. 16 credits to... Oh, I needed exactly 16. Oh, I could have always clicked for telework, and I probably should have clicked for telework. Yeah, I like the compilation a lot. I've been playing it in standard in World Tree Arrisanna. I've just taken it out because it was kind of in a place where there should have been at least one Hush. And I don't know why I wasn't playing Hush in Arrisanna. Like, what the hell am I doing? And I kept like musing for Hush and it not being there and getting very frustrated. I'm guessing influence-wise, you're on. I'm not on Fermenter, no, not at all. With Saucy and Cup, I'm like Imp and Sauce. Imp, Cup, Saucy is like the main Saucy of influence. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And what else? Not that one. This one. Here you go, Lucille. And Entanglers. I'm sure you must be on Entanglers, right? Like even with whatchamacallit, even with things in your deck. Implementer Boitata. Oh, Boitata's fun. That's probably better than Echelon. Okay, we will pull this Slap Vandal back because that's not in a very good place at all. Do we want to pawn this Saucy? I think so. Like this turn, I'm quite tempted to go HQ. I don't like breaking a Descent with a Slap Vandal because they can return it to hand. Like it's very, very menial for them to return it to hand so that we lose our Slap Vandal. So we could go R&D instead. I think we can probably trash this Saucy right now. Boitata Aesops synergy is real nice. Yeah, I think it's fine as long as the sentries are like 4 strength or less, and I guess they probably mostly are. Right. So this feels fine. We will just go and get from the heap. We'll get the Entangler, but then I really want the Entanglers to break the hammers. No, I can break the hammer fine. I kind of want to go HQ here. But then if there was agendas in HQ, it feels more like they go in server 1. So I'm going to go R&D. We'll run installing this. Then we're going to click the telework. So what do we do with our last click? So maybe we put down a Parisia first in case we can trash something. Then we'll run R&D. Installing Slap Vandal here for this credit. Breaking with this one. We'll pay 2 to bypass. We see a Hortum, that's fine. I guess. Boitata. Oh, sorry, I've already read that. I have both Boitata and Echelon. Boitata is situationally very good, and I have spare influence late, so another breaker to power up the Echelon. Yeah, that's why I like the Slap Vandals for powering up the Echelon. Cupulation is another card to test in 1-cost Hushuk. Cupulation in 1-cost Hushuk is actually particularly nice because, like, if you Hushuk and you whiff on agendas, but you're like, oh, I've just seen your Wincon, I'm just gonna take your Wincon, put it on my thing. That feels quite nice. Might have to try that. I've been known to play some Hushuk decks in the past. It's not an unknown thing. Other sentries above 4 strength for Archer, always going to be a problem. Cloud Eater and Seraph. Seraph might be slightly nastier than I'd given it T4 originally. I just don't see it working in MBN, and oh my word, we're getting the logjams. Right, we have to find our... do we Aesops? Oh yeah, we Aesops and Muse. We'll pull this back to hand. Okay, we can draw once, then we can run archives installing the slap vandal. That draws us again. So we draw once. That's one turn too late because we probably can't get through this. So we could either run here. We're almost sure. We're pretty sure this is going to be a logjam. But I think that's fine. So maybe we install the Sauc3 on it, run it, and then click the telework. Muse in hand is nice. Oh, and well, we probably have to. Yeah, we'll run R&D. There's no advanceable sentries right now, are there? I don't think. Would you like to res a logjam? Looking at screenshot, big difference is you're only on one cataloger. Yeah. Yeah, I think I should possibly be on more, maybe 2. They feel a bit clunky in the early game. Okay, here we're just gonna slap vandal this, paying that, breaking. Oh wait, what happened there? I didn't mean to trash it. I think I need to actually zoom out because we've gone too long, gone too wide, too deep. What's the word? High? The others can fire, and then we'll click the telework. Okay, we're like really good on money now. We just need to be able to actually break a barrier. We can muse for our... There's a big problem here, which is if we muse for our pressure spike, and then we run into a hammer that we can't deal with, then they can trash the muse. That's problematic. New them big and tall. Love it. Yeah, maybe I should try more catalogers because I think it is... They might be better than Conduit. Certainly here, like we're probably not running this a million times for free. Right, pushing a Basalt Spire? Looks like it. We will... So we think that this is definitely a logjam, so we can't get in here unless we get our big boy. We have one Aesops left, so if we run for a hammer, they're going to trash our Aesops. Do we want to trash the Saucy? I don't think we do. No, we want to trash the telework. Is what we want to trash. Okay, quick think. The other option would be to slap down Cataloger and go R&D by getting the pressure spike out. What's this? If it was a Isaac, they'd have rezzed it by now, right? So we think this is probably an Augustina, which means that we potentially lose our cataloger when we run here. Right, we're sure this is a logjam. We're sure this is a logjam. If we install our Muse and we draw the pressure spike, which is 1 in 17, not great, then we can get something else, which would be fine. We do want a way of breaking hammer. I think we have to go for it. Yes. Having that in hand is sweet, actually. That is how we can deal with hammer. So it's gonna like it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. Stack. Pressure spike. We could stick a slap vandal on one of these. No, I think we just go. Serve one. Let's go. Let's see it, Sauc. Show me. If you go very poor scoring this out, then that's probably fine as well. No Ari yet. What's the dashable score in the meta right now? Mad Dash Cataloger. Yeah, Mad Dash Cataloger. I think I've seen someone on that. I've seen someone on Burner, Cataloger, and Mad Dash out of Shaper, which feels like pretty sick. It's funny how Mad Dash is like either the most powerful card in the format or not. But yeah, I think like potentially you could play like aggressive Shaper, play 2 Mad Dash. It's probably worth it because at the moment you've got a fair few ways of making that work, and you can kind of not care too much about the Mad. You know, if you're like maybe playing Ashen, like you're like, oh no, I've taken a meat damage. Oh no. Like you could even go all out. Like you've got a ton of influence to spend as Shaper in that kind of package, especially the prepaid one. So you could play falsified as well. Like I've not known what to spend my influence on, so I've got like 3 bravados because they're one of the best things to play with. Okay, I think we're definitely getting in here if there's no res. So that feels good. Yeah, that ooh, okay. So Source thinks that he can kill us, which he might be able to do. How much is this? We got a boost twice. It's a fair amount. But he's going to have 10. If he spends 2 on the Angelique, do we want to install anything with Ari here? I think we do. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's cool with a Basalt Spire. Very cool. But we can run again here, right? He can't. Like, we could just run 2 more times. Is one of these a ping? You can't have stuff in hand. This isn't at fret yet, which is a shame. That actually stops us. Because our only way of dealing with that is to muse out our unity, which then goes away. Oh, that's annoying. It's going to be super poor next turn, though. We can muse the unity, yeah, but not. I don't want to do that in mid-run, because then I'm going to lose the unity, and that is my last muse. That is a problem. Okay. Touche. Yeah, Muse would die. So we might go archives here. We didn't Arry yet. So I might go archives, installing a slap vandal on one of these, so that next turn we can catalog her and go in. Oh, just on the Hortum, obviously. Let's run archives and see what we see. Okay, threw out a Theros and the Hortum. Theros makes a lot of sense. It's on business as usual. So if he's still got one in hand. Oh, I really don't want to use this Muse to get a Unity, but I think I'm going to have to. I guess if he scores out this turn, then we can just chill. So I think this turn is like install cataloger, go R&D. Then we might. Actually, it's quite tricky to go HQ. We could install cataloger, go R&D, click cataloger, run HQ. No, not all in one turn. Not all in one turn. So the other thing would be just to challenge HQ and use the compilation. That gives him access to his punitive, which is fine. Can't punitive us anymore. Because if there was agendas in HQ, he keeps them in hand, right? So we sell the Entangler. We put the Entangler on the hammer. We run with the Slap Vandal. That seems okay. I'm going to go for that line. So we can Aesops this, because this is no good anymore. And then we'll Urban the Saucy, I think. Let's get. So from the heap, Entangler is going here. We're going to run HQ. We'll bypass. We'll Arrisanna a Slap Vandal on here. Paid break. See all of HQ. Punitive. Managam. We'll trash that. Pivot. Do we want to trash that? Sure. And then we just draw and play a creative, I think. Okay, another Entangler in hand is cool, but we do need to find our Unity, and we now just need to draw into it. Next turn we'll probably stick down the cataloger and go there. We get through the logjam a bit cheaper now. Yeah, they moved the descent back, which is like makes sense. Why wouldn't you? They like potentially they could just push an Oaktown and we lose. Okay, something's coming back. Armed asset. That's a lot of money. It's like so much money. They popped back up in credits pretty quick. Okay. What's that, an Isaac? It's an Isaac, right? So we could still get through this. Or it's Chrysium. It's probably a Chrysium, which is going to be expensive to deal with, but that's fine. We've got the money right now. We can Aesops the Muse. Will UAV... do we UAV the Slap Vandal? Yeah, we might as well, because we can install it on the way in. We'll put this down. We'll run R&D. We can now break this slightly cheaper, which is nice. It doesn't actually make any difference. How funny. Because we do add 9 strength, break 1, 2, 3. Slap Vandal still deals with the ice wall. Oh, whoops, no. That was meant to be on the Unity. I'm just going to bring it back to hand, give myself a click. Sorted. I think this is the same to break, which is quite nice. Yeah, +3 strength, break 1. This is not a terrible breaker. This is like Precious Bite feels all right. This will break the end of run. You can have a credit. If we do cataloger, can we trash this Isaac? Yeah, because if we click it again, then we breach. Okay, Bassel. Oh. Okay. Okay. How do we steal all these in one go? Do we want them to draw them? Is the other thing. Because if they install advance in server 1, out of all of them, what do we want to steal? Do we want them to get recursion? Or do we want them to be able to res this ice over here for free? Oh, that's quite tricky. So we could steal the Sam and give them a bad draw. Steal 1, leave armed on top, hope for win next turn. Definitely a option. The thing is, they can Basalt Spire and screw things up. They can they can take 1 from the top. So I think I actually want to leave all 3 agendas on the top, so that if they hit the Basalt Spire one, then I'll still steal. Or it goes Basalt Spire, it goes 2 agendas, then armed, then the other agenda. No, I think it's just all 3 on top. I want my copulation back now. This magnet is a problem. I think I want to steal the Basalt Spire. Okay. Any actions. Okay, so we steal the Basalt Spire. And then we possibly draw. They're going to draw a send a message next turn. With a send a message on the top still. I think I want to get rid of... Do I want to get rid of him? Is he going to make any difference? He's going to make this logjam bigger, which we don't care about too much. He might make this ice bigger. He might make the magnet bigger. I think I do get rid of him. And then it's either draw, because if I don't find unity, then we're in a ton of trouble, or it's play the creative. Oh, is there a descent in hand? There's a descent in hand. Shit. Actually, he can do something. He can hit the Basalt Spire. But yes, I agree. Otherwise, it would be like quite irritating. Do we think he jams next turn? I don't think he can because of Anoetic money. Yeah, so I think we draw looking for the unity because that's how we lose. Oh, I would have loved to have that right now, like on that run. Okay, what does Source do here? I think the correct move is I am like the correct play is install double advance. There's also a chance that you could basalt allow if he does, he puts one in the bin, but you could basalt for a subliminal messaging, which then gets you like enough money to subliminal. Yeah, it trashes the top of R&D. It's like so it triggers Novum because it trashes the top of R&D, then recurs one from archives. If they click it, not if you steal it, but if they click it. Okay, they drew. That's great for us. So there's now 2 sender messages in hand. They can't install and double advance. They take a load of money. Are they going to punitive us here? I'd give anything for a compilation right now. But we can't get it back. No, we can't. That's a shame. Like there is a chance that this deck actually makes like test run work quite well. Test run plus compilation is like potentially very rude. Especially test run plus compilation plus Q loop. Hello. Hey Sanjay, I didn't see you in the chat earlier. Sorry, I've just noticed you there. Slash summon compilation is absolute invited anytime. So I'm right. So they've drawn. Oh, no worries. So they've drawn the armed. So they've put one sender message in here. So we know there's one sender message in HQ. I am right there, right? They didn't trash first. Oh no, is it still on the top? No, mandatory draw and draw. So it's both of them. Urban Art can pull this back. I think we can probably trash the Parisia right now. We're not really using that for anything. Haven't used it since it was installed. Okay, so I think click one is run HQ, installing the Slap Vandal. Or we install the Entangler on Horton. Slap Vandal's just better, right? Like I might want to keep the Entangler for this remote. Or we draw first click. Or we conduit. How much does it cost us to get through here? Thinking. No, because we know that like there's a free pointer in hand. There's one in the remote. Like rest of. Yes, I ordered it. I ordered it. No, Basalt's Fire. 2 sender messages. Then the armed asset. I think. Okay, we're gonna go HQ first click because like definitely we know that something's in here, right? So we're Arrisanna, Slap Vandal onto this Horton, drawing a card. Find an Aesops is useless to us. Punitive, that's fine. We can draw, no good. We'll run HQ again. Descent. Maybe it is on top. Is it on top? Did I screw it up? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We can get rid of this. 2 draws is send a message on top. Is it? Is it? No, because we stole one off the top. They mandatory drew, and then they drew. It's interesting they didn't play with Descent, though. Yeah, I mean, this is the better play right here. We now need to find a Unity stat. Like, if we don't, or we conduit here, we probably should have conduited last time if we were going to do that. Aesops, anything? No. We could Aesops the DCMZ. We have more memory than we need. We'll pull this back, definitely. Right. Is first click go HQ? Or do we just draw looking for a Unity? If we draw, we install Unity, we can run twice. They can keep us out both times. Oh, balls. Balls. I'm totally locked out. I can't get into that remote in time. And I don't have any ways of getting clicks. So I think the best thing here is run HQ, look for the sender message. Run R&D. Maybe install Conduit, run R&D twice. From bottom to top. Yeah, so Basalt was on the top of the deck because I stole that with thing, and then it was 2 sender messages. So one should definitely be in hand. The problem is we don't have a way of installing with enough clicks. Unless we steal the sender message from HQ. No, they can recur 1 card with a Basalt Spire, so they always have an extra trigger. Oh, that's cheeky. Okay. Slap Vandal goes here. We'll draw a card. It's going to be our Unity. Too late. It's not. So at least we didn't like draw looking for the unity. Get to send a message. Come on. It's. Do we trash that? Go back looking for the sender message. Run R&D. They didn't play a descent, did they? Did I just miss? No, it's still in hand. So there must be one in hand unless they trashed it. Do they trash it? Is it in archives? Ah. Did they trash it and put it into archives? I think I missed a Nuvum trigger. They drew. No, it's not in archives. It can't be in archives. Ironically, we now want our Parisia. How much is R&D to get through? This is 5, 6. Actually, not 6. Actually, 4. Crap. We can't get into R&D. So what I should have done is put the asset protection on the top, because I just assumed that I'd draw into our Unity by now. There's only 8 cards left. That's what you get for playing one of breakers, eh? I think the only chance now is run HQ, steal a sender message, and then I don't know what. I don't think we can afford to get into R&D by a long shout. GG. Damn. Magnet totally locking us out here. Oh, I do have Pikachu. That would have been good. That's what I needed here. More clicks. There is a SAM in hand, right? I'm not going insane. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fine. That's okay. I was worried. Okay. Cool. Well, that was unfortunate. We probably need to play 2 unities, I've realised, because we get massively shut out by Magnet. Like even, well, I guess kind of the same as barriers, but no, because barriers we can deal with most of them with a slap vandal. Logjam is about the only one which is a real big problem. Or at least like at first. And if they resid Feros early, then we don't care. That's all their money. Magnet, we just can't get through. Okay, well that's good to know. No worries. That was my fault for not just using the Muse to get a Unity, I think. Yeah, I guess this is what happens when all our real breakers are near the bottom. Rough. Okay. Let's play some silly Hashiko. Right. So, I've been on 2 of. Yeah, I think 2 of might be correct. There's also a chance that like test run is worth playing about with, because you can also use test run as like, I guess it's not really credit. It's kind of credit efficient. So if you use test run on a coalescence from the bin, right, it's technically only click for a credit for that, but then it's going to go back onto the top of your deck, and then you draw it and you install it, and you probably install it for free. So like at very worst, it's like a sure gamble. Maybe test run is worth playing around with. Right. I was wanting to play this before rotation happened. It's Patchwork Hashiko, which puts an orca into the bin using Patchwork, and plays the retrieval run, preferably all on the same turn, because the cool kickflip is you like go, okay, I'm going to play retrieval 1. It technically costs 1 credit. It puts the orca into the bin and you instantly run and get it back. And then you get an orca for 1 credit. £1 fish, very, very nice, very, very cheap. And then a new set came out, and I was like, well, now we can also do the same with Lobisome. Now, from playing this a little bit, I have found out that might not be better than just playing Buzzsaw Turbine. This could be the fact that I seem to have played against a lot of decks which had a ton of Vampirinassa, and Vampirinassa costs 5 to break with Lobisome, and you normally want to break it all because it's really good to get the power counter on it. I've found. And breaking it for 5 when you're normally like, oh, I've just got a turbine and a buzzsaw down and I'm breaking it for 2, feels a bit risky. So I think that this would actually be better if this was just buzzsaw, like 2 copies of buzzsaw, 1 turbine. Well, then you'd probably have to play 2 cleavers as well. So it's like certainly way more cards, but you'd probably just play buzzsaw, a turbine, maybe you play a whatchamacallit as well. Don't worry about Nemising Archives, actually. We've got Bankar. Yeah, you probably play like an Ice Carver as well or something. But it turns out that once you do that, like Orca just eats through everything. And especially if we were to put a turbine in here. I mean, the problem is that if they don't... If you put the turbine in here, then there's just no reason for them ever to res a sentry ever again. And you actually want them to res some sentries, because then you can charge stuff using the Orca. What are we charging? We're charging the twinning, obviously. And obviously we can charge Lobisome. There is some jank which we could do here, where we could include like copies of District 99. Definitely interesting. I would love to be on another hippo. I'm playing 1 Divide and Conquer because MBK told me to. This is a classic MBK move. We're going to charge up a twinning to like a load of counters, then play Divide and Conquer and see like 3 off HQ and 3 off R&D. It's fun. We've got 2 copies of Ashen because we are actually going to burn through our deck pretty quickly, and that has proven to be the case. What I've actually found is that the companions here get very hungry very quickly. I potentially don't quite have enough to install, for instance, with the Paladin, and I don't have quite enough expensive events to play with the Mystic. So I often find myself like drawing for a gamble, especially as I'm on Patchwork as well. But obviously we kind of want these because twinning. I also did originally think, well, I'm playing both of these and I can charge for Lobisome, so I don't have to play a Frector. So the original list of this had a Mantle in this place, which if you know, you can charge up on the corpse turn as well. So you can get your twinning like supercharged really, really fast, which is the way more fun version. But turns out if the corpse playing like enough barriers and not enough code gates, or they just decide not to res their code gates, then you are screwed. So I'm playing a cleaver instead. And the influence for the Mantle became a Diesel. We could maybe play the Mantle and then just put the cleaver down if we feel like we need it. Like maybe that's the more fun version. But we'll start with this and we'll see where we go. But it is like it's a lot of fun. YouTube. Axie can come and stream like and smash us with some like triple Bran. Oh, that's not the right one. Triple Bran thing. 2 Ashen is because we are going to burn through our deck very quickly, and I don't like playing 1 Ashen because well, it's kind of a worst and kind of a best. This is really bad if they're on Bran, but we are going to eat all of their sentries for breakfast. So that's a good thing. We kind of want a patchwork early. Yeah, Aksu is in bed sleeping. You appear to be typing. So I'm on 2 Ashen because I want to be able to get 1 back with DJ Fenris if I lose both of them. I don't believe in playing a single Ashen. It doesn't make sense. You're either playing 2, or I guess you're maybe playing 1 and a buffer drive and a way of getting it back. Let's go draw. 2 gambles is nice. We're going to do this. We're going to play a Mystic, and we're going to run R&D last click like legends. We see a Lacosta. I think we do trash that. We're going to be on 5 next turn, so we can still play the gamble. In fact, we'd only need to be on 4 anyway. I'm trashing this just because, like the whole Lacosta Charlotte, it's just a bit too good of a thing. It's going to really speed them up. Hanzai. They're on Mindscaping. That makes sense. Do we go and deal with this Spin Doctor? We might do. We also might play Bankar because they could be on Boto. We won't necessarily use a Bankar. We're definitely going to install this Hippo. Let's draw 1. I think these are fine. I think we will play one of these because we'll go and deal with this Spin Doctor now. They'll probably pop it, which means we don't flip, which is good for now. And then we'll play Lago, which should sort of speed us up a little bit. Unfortunately, if they get the sort of Charlotte, yeah, you see, this is probably Charlotte plus plus Lacosta. But we don't care about the cards in our hand too much, so I'm just going to install the Hippo, which is the one that we do care about, and then we'll run it and see what happens. It is Bran. That's a shame that we didn't already have the Hippo down. We don't want to run. We want to just run Archives last click just to get the flip. So this, we really hope that they don't put another piece of ice here. Because if not, then we'll just go and Hippo that immediately because we need to get rid of these. Hey, Andre, how you doing? We've just been playing some Startup Arrisanna, which is quite fun. Very, very toolboxy. Ooh, that's probably too expensive for us to res now. So that's a 9. That's probably a void, but we're just going to kill this Bran and then deal with our lives after that. Burp, burp, burp. Yes, please. And now we are playing a Hashiko list. Void me. That's absolutely fine. Which, well, I was going to say I'll move my face, but I'll show you quickly first. So it's this. We're going to like patchwork an Orca out of our hands, retrieval running it in the same run to get our £1 fish. Oops. Very, very nice. Very, very cheap. That's the plan. Anyway, we can get rid of this. Yeah, startup is kind of fun. it's like very different. Um, I've mainly been jamming it because I'm running a startup CO in just a couple of weeks, which I really need to remember to promote today. Oh, this is great. If they don't get an ice, no ice. We're gonna run this 3 times. Ah, boo. We could just run first click. Again, I kind of do possibly need this cleaver is the issue, but we've got 3 retrieval runs. Why would we care? Uh, the other thing would be to play the steel skin. We do have like credits we need to use. This will let them res something big and nasty. I don't care. This is fine. We have one event in hand. They definitely call event, right? This is actually like the best face check for us right now. Sure. Okay, what did we lose? Ah, we lost. We drew into a sure gamble and lost it. That's like really unfortunate. We now need to find an event that is exactly the event that we're looking for. Wait, oh no, I've not got the orca in the bin. Okay, well I guess we're getting a Lobosome for now because and then we'll just run archives. Maybe die to bacterial or a Fuji or 5 points worth of agendas. I mean, I'm kind of saying the same. So, just hoping you're not on punitive. Um, this is probably not on punitive, right? I think if it's Lacosta, I mean, Lacosta Charlotte is just so good that they might just be on punitive anyway, right? Um, but it feels more like scoring. They have 7 credits, yeah, but they're gonna draw like cards, and if they're on punitive, then they're probably on YDL, and they only have to land 1 punitive. They can literally just click for 2 credits and punitive us, I think. We do have one. No, they need to play one. I know, I think it was a very desperate move. Yeah, clearly. That face when Marana scores 5 points out of archives and both for Corbin and Marana go, oh no. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you see, like if they've got a YDL, I mean, they don't even need it. They can just play a single punitive. If they're on it, I don't think they're on it. So I'm now feeling kind of okay. Would have liked to have got this Orca down rather than the Lobosame, but that's fine. Okay, we've got a Subliminal. We'd love to make a run. Yeah, we'll trash the top card of our stack. We trashed a retrieval run. It's okay. We could trash all of these cards, but we've already seen 2 retrieval runs, so it's actually a bit risky. So we're going to draw 1. That's absolutely fine. We'll probably just Dirty Laundry archives this turn. I'll draw again. We could put down a twinning, then Dirty Laundry archives. Feels probably correct. Cool. This is likely a Nisei. Or an off-world. There's like a minor chance that we could have just challenged that, but think it's probably a bit too risky. Ooh, maybe it's something they're cooking then. So if this is a brand, we can get through a brand for 5 credits using Lobosome one time. Just like the Fujis. And then annoyingly, we can't charge this up. Casts is fine. We'd love to find another retrieval one. Let's draw once and then we can moshing. That's perfect for a moshing target. We could afford to flip here. There's a genuine chance that we might DJ for Quetzal. We can't because we're Anarch. Just to deal with the first sub of Bran, and then we can always like Quetzal double click through Bran and run back in one turn. I think probably just getting this down for like +1 credit feels good. We flip back, but that's okay. DJ Fenris for the retrievals is a good plan and one that I probably should have thought of before. We need quite a few cards in hand before that is safe to do, but I do like that as a plan. It's an off-world. We'll trash the top card of our stack to draw another. We find a retreat. So we get it. What is the spiciest DJ target out of Anarch? There's so few. It's like you've got like almost none. I think there's only 3 options now. But now we're gonna play £1 fish. Very, very nice. Very, very cheap by doing this. This costs 3. In fact, this ruins it because this is £0 fish. Retrieval run. Orca. Awesome. We could now run HQ. I'm a bit scared of an enemy. Do we draw run the server? No, I don't necessarily think this is an agenda. I'm going to be incorrect and it's going to be a Nisei and I'm going to be upset. I do actually want to flip this turn. So I'm just going to go archives. I wish Wu could be the only... Yeah, Wu as a legal DJ target would be funky. Like, pretty cool. Wu as a legal DJ target out of like Mulch might be a bit. I guess like Mulch is all viruses and Wu can't pull viruses. Oh, this is something they're cooking. Okay, I probably need to go and sort that out then. Having that in hand is brilliant. We can only get through a brand once here, which is an issue, unless. So I think we just run first click and see what happens. They've got potentially 1 Anoetic Void Fire. DJ Lisa. I wish. DJ Lisa as Seb would potentially be hot, right? Although you take 2 tags, so you'd have to like clear 1. So we can get through here. I don't actually think it's worth it because then we lose we can't charge our Orca very well. So I'm going to just do that. They can fire. And then I think we're going to put down the Fenris, trashing this Steel Skin, and then we're going to run HQ. I guess they could boop us last click into the Bran. That's kind of mean. Oh, sorry, I thought I clicked that. This for this, drawing 2. So yeah, here we can go do loss is actually like probably good if we were worried about money, but we do want Steve. Sable wouldn't be the worst, especially against Ag Infusion, and then we'll just run HQ. There's a They surely don't boop us here. I guess they can boop us, and then they can just put the ice which they've booped. Okay, so here's the question. Do we go through this Tattoo Boiler? If we do, yeah, because then we get a retrieval run back, and then we can put down our Cleaver, which unfortunately breaks Bran for 8 credits. And then we're going to need to find... we're going to need to find a sentry that we can charge. Well, we're going to need to find a flipping... whatchamacallit. A code gate first. We might actually... There's a chance that we retrieval run out... No, we have to get the Cleaver first because they've got Tattoo Bowlers. I have just realised that Mystic's ticking out. I think we can just trash a card from hand. I think like keeping the Mystic going is probably a better idea. Although, if we lose the retrieval run, they didn't swap ice here. That's fun. So what is there? There's a Tributary. Interesting. There's a Charlotte, which we'll trash. There's a Chrysium. Do we care? They could put this on archives. I think that's the only place we care about it. That's fine. That can stay. Do we risk this? If we lose the retrieval run, we potentially just lose the game because we can't get our Cleaver back. I think we trash the Mamie and then we go back for the new and we go and reinstall a Mamie next turn maybe, or we just use the Paladin for the twinning stuff. It's a 1 in 5. Are we taking the 1 in 5? Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We risked the hit. We wouldn't necessarily lose the game, but if they don't decide not to res any code gates, then we would be boned. Okay, so this turn is like this Bran is still a big problem for us. We're gonna retrieval run archives using these credits. We get our Cleaver. We'll run HQ. We probably see an extra card. I don't know. Do you draw into you probably they've got a click left. Wow. Dang. So they just draw the agendas and jam it straight in, right? This deck probably needs 2 hippos. Oh, that would have actually been quite good. That's actually what we wanted for Divide and Conquer. Okay. Ashen for 5 new cards is not good because we need our Cleaver. So I don't think we can challenge this. We don't have pinholes because I'm an idiot. And I don't believe in tech. We can't break this brand like multiple times. We can hardly break it once. Ah, but with the bacterial, everything is so safe. Everything is so safe. There's no chance they put one on the top. Will retrieval run out the Cleaver? Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Like I think bacterial program is a nuts agenda. I think it's so good. The fact that they banned Obo, so people are now playing bacterial programming is kind of, I think it's increased the power of most Jinteki decks by a lot. I guess we run R&D. Then maybe we dirty laundry HQ. But I would assume that this is an agenda. It could be a bacterial. It could be a 5.0, but they can't score out this turn. A slight chance. Okay. Yeah, we choose 2 cards in the heap. Why not? We really want this divide and conquer back. Although no, it's no good. We're gonna see most of HQ anyway. We will see an extra one on HQ in case they had to like draw into like feather their hand a bit. We can dirty laundry into HQ. Tattoo Bowler's back. They're making a ton of money off these. See a Chrisim again. There's zero chance they put one on the top. So let's just see. There's a chance this is just a Charlotte and they didn't draw agendas. Nah, GG. No chance I win there after a back pro fire. Yeah, I'd have needed some like pretty big combination of pinhole and maybe like direct access or something as well. We could try playing without the Ashens. That would give us a ton more influence. Yeah, for sure. It's probably not worth it. It's just a bit of fun. Thanks for the game. Okay, so we can still get out an Orca for a ton of for nothing. So if we were going to make this better, should we just take out the Ashens? We can probably take out the Ashens. We do burn through our deck real quick though. We take out the Lobosome. We put in 2 Buzzsaw. We put in 2 Cleaver and a Turbine. And then we can just play some more diesels. Making decks better is overrated. Yeah, make decks more fun is probably the way to go. How? Okay, so without the Ashen, I think we probably have to drop the Lagos. Right. Pinhole, probably a good idea. Would have been a good idea in that one. Plus, we're like not very good at contesting super early remotes. And then it's like either just another diesel. I'd love to have one other thing that we could charge, but I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess so. Maybe we put in Nuka instead of diesel, and then we can like charge the Nuka. Climactic Showdown. I love it. Not in this deck. It's not going in this deck, but you know I love Climactic Showdown. It's such a bonkers card. Now that we're playing this nonsense breaker suite, we could probably drop the hippo. Like, I mainly wanted the hippo because we could only really deal with things once. Maybe hippo's still good enough, but I think we can drop that. We might just even play an ice carver just so that like breakpoints. Like it means that we've got a second turbine essentially. An extra divide and conquer does seem correct, so that at least we can DJ Fenris for it. Let's play a divide. We'll play a second divide and conquer. There was someone a little while ago that was very upset when we cut divide and conquers, so I'm playing the second one just for them. And then we could just play 47 cards and play another diesel, right? Done. Easy. Or we put in boomerangs, which is very good with paladin. Maybe boomerangs are correct. Maybe one boomerang is correct. Probably two boomerangs are correct. Two boomerangs are correct. We're on patchwork. Boomerangs make more sense. Fine. Runner. I mean, now I'm at 47 cards because I've got the two divide and conquers, but that's absolutely fine. We're just gonna we're gonna trash all our stuff and then we'll bring it back with DJ at the end, right? This is actually the perfect fit. Like we do tend to rack up a whole ton of money on the mystics, and we need like events which are actually quite expensive to spend it all. It's the kind of thing that we need. I mean, the divide and conquers make me want to put the mantle back in, but I'm not going to. Although we could play, so maybe like the more conservative version is probably to play Keiko, boring, but to play Keiko, and then you have the extra influence for mantle. The issue, which I've just remembered, and which is why I quite liked it in the Lobosome build, is that you don't have anything which you want to boost on your turn with the mantle if you're playing the break suite, which we've now got. Ob, need to go fast. We've got Bankar in our opening and Steel Skin plus Strike Fund. We have our one turbine, which we can't recur. We can recur. We've got retrieval runs. Perfect. We're just going to keep this. We've also got Cleaver. I probably should have really considered this because I don't actually know what we're doing turn one apart from putting down Bankar and challenging. Oh, and net asset ob. Okay. Bankar was a bad choice. I need money and I don't have any money. Well, let's check what we've got over here. At least they can't be on former carry. Marilyn, we won't trash. Virus. Getting Descent. What do you get here? You get another Marilyn? You get a Descent, yeah. Well, now we can go HQ, which seems great. Because AI stays Q. Hostile Architecture. Hate to see it. And put down a Bankar, as bad as that potentially is, considering they're going to do a lot of damage. Trashing the Marilyn actually was probably correct there, right? That's what I should be doing. They went down to 0 credits. I trashed the Marilyn, although they are going to be on Bladderwort. Didn't move the Descent back, so that's kind of good. We could challenge a Spin Doctor. We've got a Gamble, which is great. We'll not Bankart anything. We're going to do this. I think we run the Spin Doctor first. This is most likely the hostile architecture. Now, we could keep him really poor. Get rid of Marilyn. I think this might be correct. Unsure, but we'll find out. Dirty Laundry is really good next turn. Bladder War, hit one of these two. Go on, hit a Steel Skin. Or the Strike Fund would be even better. Yeah, thank you very much. Now what do they do? Install Hostile and click for 2? I love how we've just taken Ashen out, haven't we? Yeah, install Hostile, click for 2. Hachiko. No server. We'll get rid of the Bladder War. They'll res a hostile architecture, go down to like 0 credits. Then we're fine. Do we get rid of this? I think only if we draw into some other form of econ. That's some other form of econ. Okay. We are going to run out of money very quickly. But we have more than they do. So that's something. Shiko, we will... I wonder if we bank our HQ here. Might do. They might have drawn into it. If they draw into agendas... They're not really going to flood, are they? I'm going to bank our R&D. Because also, if this is a tithe, I don't want to take like 2 damage. Okay. We could go and try and steal that. Is it better to put down the buzzsaw? Because we're going to lose a credit next turn anyway. Now, yeah, this forces a res here, so that's fine. And we might go take a single on R&D. Or we draw a card. I think I take a single. I don't care that much about these cards. Hostile architecture. That's fine. They're like they're nowhere near being able to res that. Okay, we probably do Bankart on HQ here. Patchwork, we're in a bit of a hole in terms of playing that. Retrieval Run is interesting. Let's run HQ, try and nab this SDS. We would have liked to keep that. That's a shame. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna draw, and oh, that's kind of interesting. I think I might just run HQ again just to make this free strength, but I think that feels like a terrible idea. I don't want to click for a credit because I've accessed the card. So we could be moshing. Yeah, screw it. I'll keep the boomerang for now. These can all go. Mamie is good for next turn. We can actually start maybe building up our econ like back up from nothing as it currently is. This looks like a server they might try and jam a Bladderwort in, server 6. I realized, I think I've only just realized, but you can't see when I'm pointing at stuff. They shuffle back 2 SDSs. Wild. Cost them a credit though, so I'm happy about that. They take 2. Steel Skin is great. We'll say no server. I think here we want to flip back, so we'll... Oh, this is... Yeah, that's like the econ that we want. Well, now we should run then. Because if we go down to 0, we might as well get a free card draw next turn. Although if we draw... No, so we should just draw. And then next turn, like, take a credit. Then Dirty Laundry. We could moshing first, but I think we're going to need some... I'm actually worried about being ground out of cards here. So we're like, take a credit, Dirty Laundry, Archive, so we get our flip. Nice. We definitely Dirty Laundry Archives now. Bankar will say no server. So credit, Dirty Laundry Archives. There's a virus. That's like a slight shame, but I guess we're not getting through this with a breaker anytime soon. Orca, gonna be a problem. What sentries are we expecting now that there's no former carry? Is like a lift like this just on like hammer? Don't actually know. Okay, unsure whether we check this or not. Think we say HQ in case we feel like we want to run there. I might draw for twinning. Draw for twinning. Install a daily cast. Install a boomerang. Run HQ. Or something like that. Retrieval run. It's interesting. Do I want to retrieval run back my cleaver? Potentially. I probably want to do that next turn. So I think I'm just going to put the boomerang on here, take a credit, let myself flip. They probably show a Bladderwort here, but I don't care about 4 other cards in my hand. The virus. They're getting a Regolith here? Or Marilyn? That makes sense. They might just click for free here, and then... I guess if we go and trash a Marilyn, then hostile happens. Which is a bit of a shame. I wonder if the sickos out there are trying this with working prototypes. Is there influence for working prototypes? Because that seems like a prison card if there ever was one. Wild how that card, which I don't think anyone quite judged it as being like, oh, this is going to be really good. Turns out it's actually pretty good. I think we bank our server 6 in case we do want to go and get it. Right. What are we doing first here? I think we're going HQ first. There's a chance we draw for twinning. No, let's just go HQ. Break with a boomerang. See a clearinghouse. I think we get that. We deal with that now because I don't want that to end up on board. Now we go and get our cleaver. There we should have drawn for a twinning first. If we draw into a twinning now, I'll be upset. Yeah, we definitely want the cleaver. We'll draw. That's cool, but I think cards will become an issue at some point in this, so maybe patchwork is a bit risky. Also, I don't think we need our turbine. We might not even need our orca. Like, all we really want, I guess, like, it would be nice if they were on at least some sentry because we would potentially like to. I think I might have to go and check some of these just to make sure they're not doing anything too nonsense. Maybe next turn. No server. So I draw one looking for a twinning. It's 1 in 22. No, I'm just going to install gains credits. Oh, they're on Hearts and Minds. Makes sense. Are they scoring here? Or are they loading up a clearinghouse? Important to note that you can't use Hearts and Minds with non-advanceable cards. Right, we probably clear out the board here. No server. So let's run this. We'll assume it's a clearinghouse. Double Rococo. It is a clearinghouse. I think we have to deal with that now. And then we'll trash the Hearts and Minds. And I think we leave the Rococos for the time being. We could get rid of the hostile. And then click for a credit. Is there any chance that this plays like the powers that be? We might actually run the Maryland server. It's 2 credits. It makes us so poor though. If we could trash it. No, I think we get rid of this. And then we'll game 1. We'll be on like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the start of next turn. We'll want to find an event. That's why we should have gone and got the Maryland. Okay, makes sense. We can bank our here. We'd probably install the twinning first, then go and get it. Oh, they're on wake. What are they getting here? The bank car? Hmm. I don't think we can stuff a 4. We have 2 more bank cars. Okay, well, we'll challenge this and then we'll go and look at the board. That's cute. Like, if there is a Stavka here, that's fine. We've got 1 more retrieval run. Okay, so bit of a think here. Could be an no. If it's an envelopment, you just leave the Bankar, right? Because it's like 5 damage, and thus is actually quite good for you. We do have pinholes as well. I forgot we actually put pinholes in. Chance that we just draw into pinhole is pretty decent. Wild. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, it might be correct to now just go after these. Hmm. They represent a very quick clearinghouse out of nowhere. There's 2 clearinghouses in the bin. We could try and lock the top for spins. Can't really lock the top of an ob deck. I have no money right now. Night Slab. Thinking. This is tricky. I think we install the twinning, but we can't get a trigger off at this turn unless we install over the patchwork, which I think is a bad idea. Or play the steel skin, which I think is a bad idea. I kind of need the steel skin in hand to not just die. So I could draw twinning. That's something that I can play. Okay. Spin Doctor. Right. I think we can get a bit of movement going here. That seems fine. Let's go and look at the top of R&D. We'll just try to win. We'll see 2 extra. See a Spin Doctor, which we will trash, I think. Sure. We see a Sphegator. If they get one of those on the board, then we're in a lot of trouble. So we could trash it. I think we do. We see an Urban. That's maybe more of an issue. We'll trash it. We'll go back and then we'll install the daily casts. Do we instantly die to anything? No, we've got one steel skin. Oh, that's the problem. They're on Basalt Spire. What do they get back here? All the things that we just trashed, we literally put them in their hand. Just the Spin Doctor. That's fine. Now we have to install this to stop ourselves like running out of not being able to feed the doodads. We kind of need to find DJ now and get some Spin Doctors back. Not Spin Doctors, Steel Skins. If we get Steel Skins back, we can just survive the urban. We can't now really trash one of these without the other one triggering, getting 2 counters. I don't necessarily trust that they're not on nonsense. Okay, last Spin Doctor. Although, then again, they're on Basalt Spire, so nothing is the last ever. Let's draw. Looking for DJ or a big event to play. That's not one. Let's draw again. Looking for DJ. Steve. And then we'll run HQ. We want to not trash anything now because they can wake up call our Steve, which then is like a massive issue. We didn't get a twinning counter this turn. That is a shame. I would like to not steal something, I think. We're going to get 2 steel skins back. We see him a virus. We will not trash that, right? Because wake up. Cool. We'll discard the Mystic. And then we'll trash the Mystic. And then we'll go and get the Mystic back next turn. I think is correct. Mystic. We need to trash you. We can't afford to do anything there. Right, let's see if they want to do anything with their Rococos. They could get 2 clearing houses, both with 1 counter on. No, they can't because they need to ob. But they could get 1 now, and then they can Hearts and Minds it. Oh, wow. Okay, well that's fine. Although now that looks like a clearing house. Either that or they are scoring out of... What is happening? Okay, 2 counters here. Wall to wall. Have they got Hearts and Minds as well? Because that's like... Okay, 2 with the... They need to hit 1 of our steel skins. Hit at least 1, please. Yes, thank you. Okay. If we keep... no, actually, we don't care. Well, the gamble would be somewhat nice, but not great. Man, if we'd kept the Ashens in, we are like very low on cards now. Oh, we kept the Boomerang. Actually, perfect. And Divide and Conquer is pretty sick as well. So Boomerang's perfect because it means that we can easily get into HQ. We can get our Steve trigger. We probably... That is most likely the urban renewal. Okay, let's do this. Put that there. We'll run HQ. I think we get back the 2 mystics. Got a boomerang in hand. We're going to basically draw into the other one, so we're always going to have stuff that we can install. Do we look at 2 from hand here? Or do we wait for next turn and try and see 3? They might have Drudge Works. Basalt Spire, sick. As much as it's awful at the same time. This would, like, if you could score one of these as Titan, that's got to be pretty sick. We will not trash this. We decided to not do that last time, so we should not trash it this time. What did they get back? Clearinghouse. So I think draw, potentially cute, install Mystic. Bladderwart's annoying. Genuinely annoying. We maybe could have gone and trashed some stuff last turn because the Rococo's aren't out anymore. Didn't think about that. Can we just win before they Bladderwart us out? Oh, I've just realised that this has gone back to full strength because obviously we hit a virus and we haven't trashed from a virus. Okay. Well, that's nice. Let's put this on here. We'll run HQ. We might get back steel skins here. We're not going to make an extra access. Yes, we got that. GG. Okay, 30 minutes, pretty fine for Orb Grinder. The Hearts and Minds is pretty cool here. If you haven't seen that combo with Clearinghouse, be aware of that. It's pretty gross. I think it's time for me probably to head to bed. It is about an hour later than I thought it was. I've been sitting in a weird position all night as well. I've got a real sore shoulder now. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of £1 fish and some sauce shop. We did fish and chip sauce tonight. Let me think. If you're Bristol bound or in England, over anywhere near us, really, then in 2 weeks, Saturday the 28th, I want to say, I'm going to check that on my phone to make sure I'm telling you the right date, because I have been known to say the wrong thing. That's August. That's not correct. Saturday the 27th. That's why I checked my phone. I'm running a startup CO in Bristol. Starts at 10 a.m. for registration. We're going to do like 6 rounds of single-sided Swiss. We'll do a top cut if there's enough people. And we've got the CO kit to do for that. Should be fun. There is some fun decks in startup. There's some punitive, but I don't think punitive is the best win con, and I think you can play around it. People are saying you can't, all the tech's gone. Just play lots of money. They need money. So thank you very much, and I shall hopefully see you all next week. Have a good week. Ciao.